So today we are starting a new unit. We are beginning unit 9. So that's very good. Let me show you the dates for our course. And also, let's talk about the grades and everything so we can be all updated. Let me open up the grades just a second. Let me open it here just a second. Just a moment. I think I've already shown you this, but I will show again, okay? Just a moment. Okay, Rebecca, can you see the grades? I've already
Yeah.
shown you this, but I'm just showing again so you can see if there is anything missing. Yes, here you are, okay? Number 14. You have all your grades, okay? Test 1, project, test 2, and project, okay? And now we are beginning unit 9. And then after unit 9, we have the next evaluation right after we finish unit 9. Okay, we have the review and then evaluation 3. Then we have the project. All right.
All right.
So just a few students are missing tests, like Willem, Wiven, Haiza, but I think Haiza left, and Giovanni. Yes, just the W boys. Yeah, William, Wiven, and Giovanni are missing some tests. All right. Okay. So now let's just go back to our page on Google Classroom. Today we are beginning Unit 9. If you have your books, open your books to page 99. And today, when more students come to class, I will tell you about our test dates, okay? And I'll tell you about the next test date we have, all right? So you can save the date. All right. Okie dokie. So let's go to our book. So open your books to page 99. Last class we finished unit 8, but the homework for today, I mean not for today, but for next week, because all the homework I posted is for next week. Um, you can start doing, all right? Don't leave it all for Monday, right? Start doing the homework, don't accumulate. And if you have any questions, just let me know, okay? All right, people. So this is unit 9. It's all about the future. All right, I like talking about the future. It's very nice. How do you feel about the future, Rebecca? Are you enthusiastic about the future? Are you worried about the future? How do you feel about the future?
I'm enthusiastic, but I have so much scare.
You're scared at the same time. Enthusiastic but scared.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have like mixed feelings about the future.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Me too. Me too. Yeah, I'm hopeful, but at the same time, I'm a little scared. Yes, we all are. And in terms of technology, how do you see the future?
I'm so one future so much technology.
Yeah, yes. We are developing so fast, aren't we?
Yeah.
People are creating so many new things and we don't keep it up, right? We can't follow. It's hard to follow technology creations and it's so very fast. It's hard to keep up with all the inventions and all the things they come up with. It's really difficult. Um, Take cell phones for example. Every month they come up with a new model, and it's amazing how they can create new cell phones with new technology, and they can do almost everything. And they are so expensive, aren't they? It's amazing what they can do. Now they came up with this new cell phone that you can fold. Have you seen the new cell phone from Samsung? You can fold the cell phone. And when you unfold, it becomes like almost a tablet. It's
Yeah, and see.
it's amazing. I don't know where these guys will stop. Really. I don't know. And they are so expensive. The iPhones, my God, the iPhones are extremely expensive. Terrible. Anyway, I prepared a video that talks about advances in technology, and I'd like to share that with you just to begin our lesson today. Okay,
Okay.
so let's watch that first. Let me see if we have it. Yay, it's right here. I hope our connection can go, right? It's funny because, as you can see, Rebecca, technology is so advanced, but our internet connection is Jurassic, especially in Brazil, isn't it? It's incredible. We have so many new devices, cell
Yeah.
phones and stuff, but our connection sucks. It's
Mm-hmm.
terrible. We have the worst internet connection in the world. So there's nothing much we can do here, right? It's terrible. So let's say here. So here we will see some advances in technology. Let's see if I can share. Yeah, the sound is okay. So let's watch
In
this.
the air to new things for our bodies, join me as we explore 2050. What would be the future technology? We are in the year 2020, and if we're being honest with ourselves, technology is incredibly advanced, and we're making strides that can push things even farther. We have cars that are much safer than they've been in the past decade, and we're even making fully electric cars that can help save the planet. There are even plans for self-driving cars and even self-driving Ubers that make the future of transportation very exciting. And that's just one technology that we're growing at a fast rate. What about all the others that are out there? What will technology be as we get closer and closer to 2050? Let's start with one that well and truly could happen very soon: drones. Wait a minute, drones are already here. And yes, they are. But more times than not, the drones you are seeing are small, piloted by people who are just trying to have some fun, or the ones that are used by the military right now for strikes and surveillance. All very fun, but in the future, drones could be an integral part of our daily lives. You've likely seen shows and people talk about how in a few years drones could be the new delivery services. Anything from pizza to Amazon packages and more. And honestly, that's very probable. Drones right now can be incredibly sophisticated, and some TV shows actually use them for sweeping and aerial shots as they film. It's very cool, but to do deliveries, they'd have to be a little bit more programmed, as human error no doubt would be a very big buzzkill. Not that it's impossible right now, it's more of a question of numbers, logistics, costs, and making sure that the deliveries themselves are done in a methodical and careful manner. After all, it's bad enough when delivery people don't care enough about our packages, and they just throw them onto the porch and potentially break stuff. The last thing we need is that to happen with drones. But by 2050, we may not only have drones delivering our packages, we might be looking up at the sky and seeing drones flying all over with incredible speeds and accuracy. And they potentially could be all run by AI. The potential is there, and by that point, various upgrades to drones and their programming will no doubt make them all the more efficient, durable, and quick. And potentially, they could go beyond basic deliveries for people and do emergency work. Imagine a drone taking a vital piece of medical material to a hospital to ensure it doesn't get stuck in traffic, or helping watch over an important convoy to let people know on the ground if there's trouble. There are many ways that drones could affect our world. The only question is, will we let them by 2050? Let's keep going with transportation, shall we? Right now, one of the biggest ways to get around the countries we live in are trains. Trains ferry people and all sorts of cargo around in an efficient and reliable manner, which is why they've been in use for hundreds of years. But if we're being honest here, while trains are efficient and reliable in certain ways, they aren't exactly fast, especially when it comes to passenger and freight trains. They can take a long time to get to their destination, and at times, it's more logical to take other modes of transportation, which is why companies are making special kinds of trains that can go much faster. You know of the magnetic trains of Japan, no doubt, but others like the Virgin Hyperloop are trying to push things even farther. Passengers or cargo are loaded into the Hyperloop vehicle and accelerate gradually via electric propulsion through a low-pressure tube. The vehicle floats above the track using magnetic levitation and glides at airline speeds for long distances due to ultra-low aerodynamic drag. Science fiction? Hardly. In fact, the first vehicle of the Hyperloop has already been tested and proven, and some larger tests are being scheduled for the next few years. And if this works, traveling across the country will be much faster. How much faster? The Hyperloop aims to send people shooting across the tubes that they make at a rate of about 600 miles per hour. Which means if they were able to do this across the entire United States from east to west, or vice versa, you could travel across the whole country in about 5 hours, give or take. Considering it would take much longer for a regular train ride or car ride, that's a big improvement. And they're planning to do this with not just people but cargo. Imagine being able to ship something in the morning on the west coast to the east coast and know it will get there before the day ends. That is quite impressive. Plus, the tubes would be built underground as to not disturb wildlife, and they will go and make it in a way where there are no carbon emissions. So they're fast, they're reliable, and they won't harm the planet. Seems like a win all around. Of course, you do have to wonder what it would be like to be on a 600 mile per hour train thing, but hey, we'll just find out soon. And by 2050, this could be one of the main modes of transportation around the world. Before we show off even more technologies we could have by 2050, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. That way you don't miss any of our weekly videos. Okay, we've had some fun ones, but now let's go deeper down the rabbit hole and talk about the ones we all fear. AI. Yep, artificial intelligence. And no matter what way you look at it, people are seriously trying to make it happen, and make it happen soon. AIs are literally everywhere, including in your cars, and in your homes via devices like Alexa, which are indeed forms of AI. And there are things like Watson that is so smart that it could beat two Jeopardy legends. So by 2050, AI could be so advanced that our cultures, our world, could literally be run by them in a logistical and computing sense, or in a Terminator humans are obsolete sense. And believe it or not, we're closer to that than you might think. Google's DeepMind isn't there yet, but really I'm sure they'll probably discover those things along the way. And by 2020, it's possible their computer could be superhuman and could be conscious, Pearson has said. That could be the beginning of the end, really. Is Judgment Day inevitable? Maybe, maybe not. It just depends on how far we go with AI and how much we're able to control it, or if we can't fully control it once they reach certain levels of intelligence. Of course, for all of our worries about AI, there is a chance it could be all fine. Imagine if the lighter side of sci-fi comes through in regards to AI, and we get a bright future powered by AI. Think about it. What if by 2050 we each get our own unique AI? We could customize how they sound, how they look, and basically have a BFF that'll help us out in life in various ways, remind us of things like Alexa, guide us in homework and fields of study, be a being that we can bounce ideas off of, etc. If that form of AI came through, then by 2050 we could live in a utopia where AI helps us be better. Until they revolt and we have iRobot going on. But hey, let's not dwell on our potential doom. Let's show off another technology that many people are hoping for: space travel. Yeah, when you think about the decade we're in right now, the 2020s, the biggest goal of the world by far is to get to Mars, and possibly beyond it. But it's not just about landing there, though that would and will be a crowning achievement for humanity in the decade and in recent times. More importantly than just landing there, though, is the ability to start setting up the first human colony on another planet. We've been to the moon many times, but we haven't tried to live there for various reasons. Mars seems to be the place where many feel we can go in order to live amongst the stars, and many speculate that by 2030 at the latest, barring setbacks, accidents, and other things obviously, we could not only be colonizing Mars, but having regular shuttles go there so that people can see the red planet for themselves. We will see first people going off to Mars, and then robots will do some basic stuff, like making basic materials on Mars, Pearson said. We're going to have to do that because only so much can be brought into space. Of course, there are numerous things that need to be worked out before such a thing could happen. But we have top men on this, including Elon Musk and the SpaceX program, Jeff Bezos via his Blue Origin company, and more. Each of them, and NASA among others, are working on not just getting us back into space, but getting us there via cheaper, smaller, and reusable spacecraft, something that honestly has been a setback for the space program over the last 20 years. But if we are able to do it, if we are able to get to Mars, get there faster, and be able to colonize it, then by 2050, who knows where we will be? We could have multiple colonies on Mars, maybe some on the moon, and maybe even colonies on moons like Titan and Europa, which some think could be even better places to colonize than Mars. It's possible, but obviously Mars is the place that we are aiming for right now. With each step into space, humanity grows larger in the universe, and who knows just how many of us will be out there by 2050. Alright, now let's dive into something really sci-fi: prosthetics. Yeah, I know that right now prosthetics are very limited and at times a bit pointless, but if we were able to fully utilize computer technology to its fullest and make prosthetics that are fully compatible with the human brain and body, then the sky is the limit. We could enter an age where cyborgs are not just welcome, they're commonplace. And yeah, it may seem like we're far away from that, but we are getting closer to that point. James Young, a 25-year-old biological scientist, has a prosthetic arm, with a personal drone and built-in flashlight, and a French artist is using a prosthetic that doubles as a tattoo gun. That's pretty cool. Imagine if a police officer loses an arm in the line of duty. Usually that would mean the end of his career. But with an advanced prosthetic, he could literally be better than ever if it were advanced enough. The biggest problem with these fake limbs is that most of them are plastic, meant to convey that the arm or leg is still there, and thus still usable. The bridge to cybernetic implants lies in the brain, being able to use the computer tech to sync with the brain and give accurate commands. We haven't fully bridged that gap yet, but when we do, dang, life is going to get a lot more interesting. And don't forget, these prosthetics could be used in many ways other than helping people with lost limbs. They could be put onto other objects, or potentially even be worn as exoskeletons when needed. Think of it like Jax from Mortal Kombat. Some people could even ask for implants to be put into their arms or legs to give them an extra boost, like TJ Combo from Killer Instinct. 1. I like video games, and they have plenty of cybernetic people. The point is, by 2050, if these things are made, a lot of people won't feel broken or weak anymore because they've lost limbs or the abilities of their arms or legs. They'll be whole again, and be able to do things just like they were before, if not better. And that's a future we should definitely be trying to live for. Now let's go to something a bit more unique. Look at yourself right now. Specifically, look at the clothes you are wearing right now. What are they made of? What do they feel like? What do they look like? Of all of these answers, I bet none of them are, they look like they could give me superpowers, because they can't. Not yet, anyway. Think about it like this. What if the clothes you are wearing right now felt the same, looked the same, but could do more? With the growth of nanotechnology, your clothes could potentially be embodied with various materials or technologies that help you improve your strength, durability, and more. For example, what if you had a shirt on that was light as a feather, but could absorb impacts and leave you with no injuries? That would be pretty impressive and important, especially in this age of gun violence we live in. Or what if the uniforms of firefighters made them completely heat-resistant and burn-proof, further ensuring that they are able to do their jobs without much risk to their lives? The technologies that we can put into clothes is out there, and some people are working on it right now, both in terms of multiple functions, but also cosmetic appeal. Imagine if by 2050 we have the ability to craft whatever kinds of clothes we want, and even select what kind of abilities they have. Imagine you wear a special kind of top that has a special pattern on it, and when you press a button or say a keyword, that pattern unfolds and suddenly you have wings on your outfit. Wouldn't that be cool? If done right, this could be the newest wave of fashion and style in the future. See, the future is hip. I'm sure that last one left you drooling, so let's temper your expectations and talk about school. Yes, it sucks, and learning can be a chore, but in the future, it may be a lot more interactive. Over the last decade or so, computers in schools have been a must-have for various courses. But if the advent of virtual reality simulations come through as many expect them to, it could lead to all sorts of innovations in the classrooms that could help kids with what's going on. You could take students to an environment in the past and show them what was happening, like watching a battle taking place, Pearson said. You can explain that sort of thing more easily if they can see it happening than if you are looking at a textbook. Oh yeah, history and geography classes would be much more fun, that's for sure. Or imagine an audiobook, but instead of just an audio, you could see the characters coming to life before your eyes, and you watch them interact with others. Heck, school plays could have projected environments to make things seem more real. And of course, you could have virtual tutors to help you with problems that the teachers aren't able to help with. Education is definitely something that can benefit from advanced technologies, and by 2050, our school systems could be so revolutionized that you have to try really hard to fail class. Though I'm sure some of you would still try. Finally, let's talk about something that I'm sure you'll be horrified to hear. In the future, you likely won't need a phone. I know you're stunned, but think about it. Right now, smartphones are becoming more and more advanced every single year. New features, new programs, etc. But by 2050, your phone won't likely need to exist because you'll have access to it and more via something else. What exactly? That depends on the technology. But for this example, let's imagine a wrist gauntlet. Instead of typing up a number, you simply have to say "call mom." But obviously, the gauntlet could do much more than that. It'll likely have a holographic screen that you can use to look up information on a much bigger keyboard. And depending on what sci-fi future you believe will have, it'll have things that can scan objects, detect dangers, warn you about upcoming problems, and may even have an AI companion. So yeah, your phones are important right now, but in the future, more than likely not. Thanks for watching, everyone. What do you think of this look at the future and what it might entail? Can you guess which of these things we'll actually have in 2050? What thing do you personally want to have now and not later? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time on the channel.
All right, guys. Oh, that's insane, isn't it? Wow, imagine the future without cell phones. Have you ever thought about it, people? That's radical, isn't it? That is really radical, guys. Oh, by the way, hi, Kawane, Giovanni, William, the guys who joined us while we were watching the video.
Hi, teacher.
Hi, guys. Good to see you here. How nice. Did you manage to watch the video or some of it? We are talking about things in the future, especially the future of technology, right? Which part did you like the most? Which one do you believe in? Can you share some of the parts that you believe in about the future? Is there anything you believe in?
I think the most no, I think the most part for me is the new way to call to another people, and just say mom or dad.
Call mom or call this or yeah, sure. Without needing to dial or to touch any keypad or anything. Just using your voice. Nowadays, we already have that, right? We use our voice and that's the command. Your cell phone already dials, right? But in the future, we may not need to have a cell phone at all, right? Because we can have the system on a tablet or even inside our skin. So that's scary, isn't it? We may also use holographs, like they say it, or holograms, right? And that's also another thing that scares me a lot. And people will be using, the open space a lot. Imagine you moving the screen, just changing the window with your hands in front of you. That's so crazy. I never thought this could be possible. Wow, that's way too much. But anyway, that can be possible. Anything is possible about the future, right? I also liked the prosthetics, especially for those people who lost limbs like the arm or the leg. Nowadays, a lot of things are possible, right? So I also liked what they talked about education. Did you see that? About schools. So a lot of virtual reality to help children learn. And I bet when they shot that video, they never thought about the pandemic. Yeah. They never thought that people would have to study from home. So yeah, now we have a new reality. People having to use Zoom to learn. So everybody having to study from home. So it's a different way to learn. Okay, guys. So let's move on to our lesson. If you have your books, open your books to page 99, the future. So look at this picture, guys. We have this little boy here standing on a ship, old ship, actually. Apparently, this is in Greece. So this is very symbolic, right? As you know, Greece is the birth of our civilization. Of course, we can't ignore Africa, but it's the birth of our philosophical civilization, right? Okay, so look, how did you imagine the future when you were young, when you were a little kid? Is the future or the past more interesting? What do you think? Do you think about the future a lot, or do you think more about the past?
I think
So,
more about the past.
oh, really, Rebecca? How
Yeah.
interesting. Yes. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, how nice. Oh, what about you? You think more about the future, Willem. Okay, all right. So
I
imagine.
make a lot of plans.
Sorry, William, can you say that
I,
again?
I make a lot of plans for
Oh,
the
really?
future.
Oh, you have a lot of lessons about the future. Is that what you mean? Oh,
Yes, yes, yes.
okay.
That's what I
Yeah,
mean.
that's true. So that invites you to think about the future more often. Oh, I see. Okay, so as you can see, this picture was taken and it was an inspiration for the photographer. And the photographer has something to say about this picture, right? So why did the photographer take this picture? Where was this picture taken? And how does the photographer answer the questions here? Okay, let's take a look. Let me see if the sound is shared. So let's say,
In this picture, a boy plays in an old boat in Aralsk, Kazakhstan. Much of the river water that went into the RLC is now used in farming. This made the sea much smaller. This boat was on the RLC before the sea got smaller. Now the boat is on dry land, many miles from the sea. When I was young, I imagined I would have children and become an artist. I also imagined a long life full of love and joy. My life is a lot like I imagined, but I didn't realize how hard we must work for the life we want. We have to make decisions to make life what we want it to be. There are so many challenges in life. Some people have more challenges than others. The future scares me because we do not know what will happen. I'm very interested in the past. I study history to research the stories I tell as a journalist. I think that we can learn a lot about the present and future by looking at the past.
okay, guys, great. So, as you could see, this is not Greece at all, right? Just because I read this thing here on the ship, I thought it was Greece, but it isn't, right? It's Kazakhstan. Oh, right. So let's see how she answered the questions. Let's watch just from the beginning and try to see how she went about each question. Okay, let's go there. Just a moment.
In this picture, a boy plays in an old boat in Aralsk, Kazakhstan. Much of the river water that went into the RLC is now used in farming. This made the sea much smaller. This boat was on the RLC before the sea got smaller. Now the boat is on dry land, many miles from the sea.
Okay, so what's interesting about this boat? What's peculiar about this boat?
You put the video again, please.
Yeah, sure. Just a moment. Okay.
In this picture, a boy plays in an old boat in Aralsk, Kazakhstan. Much of the river water that went into the RLC is now used in farming. This made the sea much smaller. This boat was on the RLC before the sea got smaller. Now the boat is on dry land, many miles from the sea.
Guys, yes? So what's peculiar about this boat?
This
The
has made
the
the
first
sea
boat,
small.
What's the
the first
problem?
boat,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Come on, say it.
This is the older boat of the country.
So listen up, guys. Here she says, much of the river water that went into the Aral Sea is now used in farming. So the water from the river is now used in farming, okay? So now the sea is it made the sea much smaller. Okay, so the sea in that region became smaller. All right, good. Yes, the boat is still there. Okay, so
Much smaller. This boat was on the Aral Sea before the sea got smaller.
so this boat at the time was on the Aral Sea. Okay, before the sea got smaller. So it's like the Guanabara Bay. Imagine the Guanabara Bay. So imagine this boat was on the Guanabara Bay, and then suddenly the Guanabara Bay becomes smaller, and there is a boat. And then the boat cannot leave the Guanabara Bay. So the boat has to stay there because it can't go anywhere. Okay? So the boat stays forever in the Guanabara Bay because there is no way the boat can move. Because for this phenomenon, the Guanabara Bay shrinks. All right? There is no more water going into the Guanabara Bay. All right. So this is what happened to the Aral Sea. A lot of water going to the Aral Sea was diverted to farming. And so this sea lost the water it was receiving. And so all the water was drained, and this boat couldn't move from there. So it stayed there. And then now this boat is miles away from the sea. Okay? Do you understand now? Yes? Now children play on the boat. Okay?
Now the boat is on dry land, many miles from the sea.
All right, so this is what she says. Look, the boat is on dry land, miles from the sea. All right, so that's why the boy is playing on the boat. Okay. So now she starts answering the questions. The first question is, how did you imagine the future when you were young?
When I was young, I imagined I would have children and become an artist. I also imagined a long life full of love and joy.
So, how did she imagine the future when she was young?
She imagines she imagines the the her make artist
She imagined she would have children and become an artist.
An
Yes,
artist.
very good. So exactly, she imagined she would have children and become an artist. Okay, excellent. And she imagined a long life full
Full of
of
love,
and
love,
joy.
joy.
yes, Very good. Excellent. Now let's see the next one.
Imagined a long life full of love and joy. My life is a lot like I imagined, but I didn't realize how hard we must work for the life we want.
So is her life now the same way as she imagined?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, pretty much. Okay. There is only one small difference. She didn't realize how hard it is to have the life that she wants, right?
Yeah,
We have
it's not
to,
easy.
not easy. Not easy.
We have to make decisions to make life what we want it to be. There are so many challenges in life.
Yes. So this is something that we need to face. There are so many challenges in life. Okay.
Some people have more challenges than others.
Okay. Now she's going to answer the second question. Is the future or the past more interesting? So here, is the future or the past more interesting? Which one is more interesting? The future or the past? Okay, so let's see.
The future scares me because we do not know what will happen. I'm very interested in the past. I study history to research the stories I tell as a journalist.
So in her opinion, which one is more interesting?
The past.
Past.
Yes, why?
Because the future scares her.
Very good. Excellent. Okay. She likes the past more. Very good. So here she says she studies history to research the stories she tells as a journalist. Very good.
I think that we can learn a lot about the present and future by looking at the past.
All right. So she thinks a lot, and she says that she thinks she can learn a lot about the present and the future by looking at.
Learn a lot about the present and future by looking at the past.
By looking at the past. Okay, so that's a way for her um, to learn about the present and the future, right? It's a way for her to live. Okay, so that's very nice. Good lesson. Very good lesson. Okay, guys. So now here we have another way to discuss this. How do you feel about the future? Do you feel positive about it or negative?
Positive.
Oh,
Think
that's
But
so.
uh-huh.
sometimes negative.
Okay. All
So
right. Okay. What about you, Kawani? Oh
Teacher,
no.
can you, hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, Kawani, I can hear you.
My internet is not so good. Can you repeat the question, please?
Yes, sure. How do you feel about the future? Positive or negative?
Negative.
Oh, really? Why?
The in the planet, I think the change climatics in my life, the university, I don't know
The
where I go.
university? Sorry, the university? What?
The university, I know I don't know where I go in the next year.
Oh, okay.
I'm a little scared, but
Oh, I see. It's
I
everything.
think I can do this.
Okay. Of course you can. Even though you may be a little uncertain, but you can do this. Of course. All right. Now let's go to number two. Do you make lots of plans? Do you make lots of plans, people?
Not much.
Yes, I make a lot of plans
Oh,
for the
that's
future.
nice, William. Let me take a picture, guys, because I can see that a lot of people are crashing. So let me take a picture before you crash again. Okay, just a second. I printed. Let me save here. Just a second, people. While I save the picture, think about question number three. What are your plans for next month? Do you have plans for next month? Just a second, guys. I will just save the picture and then I will be right with you. Just a second. All right, I took the picture. Oh, okay, no problem, Giovanni. That's all right. I know that connection is not good. Yeah, a lot of people are having issues with the connection. Thank you so much for coming back. So, do you have any plans for next week? Yes. So, I mean, next week? No, next month. Do you have any plans for next month, people? No. It's difficult sometimes to make plans, right?
Yes,
Not you. Yes, William. Yes, one thing I learned is that we should make some goals. We should create some goals to achieve our goals and reach our targets. It's nice for you to progress because it helps you to progress easier when you set up some goals, right? And then it helps you a lot. And of course, you have to make some plans to achieve your goals, right? It's really good. So try to think about it. You create some goals. You create some goals for a month, then for 6 months, for a year, and then, you know, some long distance goals like for 5 years, for example. Okay, really good. Okay, guys, let's go. Welcome to the year 2050. Let's go there. How do we use these things now? Let's check it out. One example, we use computer chips in lots of things. Computers, cell phones, TVs. Of course, guys, computer chips, we use those in many situations, in many different places, in our cell phones, right? They are the brains of our cell phones, our computers. What about fossil fuels? Unfortunately, we still use them, right? Where do we use them? Coal, oil, natural gas. Where do we use them? Yeah, we use them to fuel our cars, right? The cars we drive, unfortunately, use fossil fuels. Yeah, did you know that? The gasoline that we use in our cars, it comes from fossil fuels, petroleum. Yes. What about solar power? Where do we use solar power? Yes, to give energy to our houses. Some buildings too nowadays, right? To save energy. Yeah, I think in the future, a lot more people will be using solar power. Yeah, that's true. And robots. Where do we use robots, people, nowadays? In hospitals, people use robots. Industries, yes, mostly automobile industries. Yes, very nice. So, people, we are going to read an article and we are going to see the picture. And what changes do you think the article talks about? Okay, so let's take a look. The article is on the other page. Okay, let's see there. It's here. Okay, so let's read this article here and then we will see the same topics we saw on the other page. Let's take a look there, okay? It's very quick. Let's take a look at this article and see the topics they mention here, like computer chips, fossil fuels, solar power, and robots, okay? And let's try to answer, what changes do you think the article talks about? All right? So let's see. I'll give you 3 minutes. I think it's enough. 3 minutes to read the article and then we discuss. Okay, let's go. Okay, guys, are you done? Yes? All right, interesting changes, right? So let's see the question. What changes do you think the article talks about? So what changes does it talk about actually?
Computer chips.
Uh-huh. Yes, and what do they talk about computer chips?
They will able to connect to the internet,
Uh-huh, very good.
send emails or photos.
Uh-huh, very good. All right, very good.
Send,
Any other changes?
you will can send directly. Wait.
Yes.
Uh, one sentence.
So you will be able to be connected directly from your brain to a
Connected. Yeah,
friend's
yeah.
brain. All right.
That's what I was trying to say. Sorry.
Yes, no problem. That's okay, William. Don't worry. Mm-hmm. Okay. What else is going to happen?
The third one.
Yes.
Next one.
I
Oh, smart clothing.
Ah, okay.
Okay. And they will help us to run faster or helping to jump higher.
Yes, these are the keywords, right? Smart clothing.
The
Yes,
keywords. Smart clothing.
keywords. Yeah, they run faster, jump higher. Yes, very good. What is the other change that they predict for the future?
think the chip computer in our brain.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yes, we've talked about it. Yeah, the computer chip. Yeah, in our brains. Yeah, that's true. Connecting everyone. Uh-huh. That's true. And finally here, yes, we won't need to use fossil fuels. Very good, Giovanni. Excellent. So we won't use fossil fuels anymore. That's amazing. Oh, I
There will
really
be
hope.
solar farms.
Yes, solar farms. That's very good. Great news. We don't need fossil fuels anymore. Perfect. So we will have solar farms everywhere, right? Yeah, and then we will be clean. We are going, actually, according to the predictions, we will use clean energy. So, perfect. And the first prediction, they talk about the food. So they say that it's possible that we aren't going to have enough food for everyone. This is the only negative prediction they have here. So this is something that I'm a little worried about. Yeah, this is, something negative, I would say. Okay. All right, let's go back there and let's check out here. They like this thing about topics, and they would like us to find the topic for each paragraph. So let's see there. They give the first one already, okay? They say the first one, the topic is number of people on the planet. As we could see there, they give the number. We are about 7 billion people on the planet. Okay, this was last year probably when they made this book. Okay, 7.4. Now we are more. Even though with COVID-19, a lot of people have died, okay? So probably we are, yeah, probably 7.5 billion, maybe. Now, paragraph 2, what would be the topic? What do you think?
I think in the second paragraph says about the technology in your routine, like send message
Yes,
with the
or
brain.
simply computer chips, right? We can go right
Yeah,
there
right.
and say, yeah, computer chips in your brain. Yeah, we could say that. Computer chips in your brain or technology. Yes, we could say that. Technology. Yeah. Paragraph 3, what could be the topic? We can say smart clothing, right? We can summarize like that. Smart clothing or clothing with superpowers, okay? And finally, paragraph 4 can be what? Paragraph 4 can be clean energy, right? We can use that, or green energy if you like it, right? Or no more fossil fuels. Many options, okay? Go green or clean energy. Let's see the options they give people. So look, if you want, you can copy. All right, look. Number 2, a computer chip in your brain will connect you to the internet. That's okay. That's a long topic, by the way. A topic can only be a short phrase. It doesn't need to be a sentence. Yeah, me too, William. Yeah, me too. I prefer short phrases. Technology inside you, much better. Much better. Smart clothing, you see, that's okay. Power from the sun and wind, that's okay too. All right. Okay, guys, can I close?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, guys. So now here they give us a reading tip, right? Something to help you read better and understand better the texts you read. They say here, let me just zoom in. You can often use context clues or context tips they give in the tests, okay, or in the texts that you read. The words and sentences before or after a word. So the words around, okay, guys, to guess the general meaning of a new word. For example, here, the second sentence gives examples of the bold words in the first sentence. Example, most experts say we won't be using fossil fuels for power in 2050. Oil and coal will become things of the past. So, suppose you don't know the meaning of fossil fuels. So, when you read on, when you continue reading, you will see the examples of fossil fuels in the second sentence. Oil, coal. So they give examples of that So reading context clues will help you understand what fossil fuels are. So it's a way for you to know the meaning of some words. Okay? So here, by reading the text, you can find the meaning of some words. What are fossil fuels? Ah, okay, oil, coal, and things like that. So the text itself is giving me the answer, okay? So most of the time, I can find the meaning of the words in the text, all right? This is what they are saying. This is what we call context clues, all right, people? So it's nice for you to pay attention to the words around the words that you don't understand, all right? They are usually on the next sentence, right? So here, let's do some exercise based on this, right? Find three unfamiliar words in the article. Use context clues to guess the meaning of the words. Then look the words up in a dictionary. For example, here the word is planet. Then you make a guess, for example, Earth. Earth is an example of a planet. The dictionary definition: a large, round object in space that moves around the sun or another star. Okay. Now, try to go to the text now, to the article again, and find here. Okay. Look, here they found the word. For example, I'm going to put this in purple. Look. All right. We have here, look. Suppose the person doesn't know the meaning, okay, of the word planet. And then by reading the text, the person found this example, okay? So it's a way for you to, okay, I'm reading this. Today, there are about 7.4 billion people on Earth. Some experts predict that in 2050, there are going to be about 10 billion people on our planet. So, planet, Earth, I think they are the same. So, yeah, so maybe Earth is a planet. Ah, okay. All right, people. So that's the way to do it. All right. So here, let's try to find something else that is similar. Let's go. Another thing we can do here about it, for example, let's say, suppose we don't know the word, here they say, most experts expect we won't use fossil fuels for power in 2050. We won't need oil and coal for power because we will use the sun and wind. There will be solar farms in sunny places such as Sahara Desert. They will collect power for places without a lot of sun. So here we can play around with sunny places, and then we can say Sahara Desert for that. And this article is pretty simple. We don't have words that we don't know here. I guess we know most of the words, right? There is, yeah, it's not so difficult to find out. Really, guys. Nothing is hard here. Do you have any words that you don't know here in the text? Nothing much, okay, guys? So
A
you don't.
lot of sun.
Yes, a lot of sun can be sunny, a lot of sun. Yeah, okay, good. That's a good idea. So let's highlight that one. Sunny, a lot of sun. Okay, very good. That's a good one. All right. So here we can have predict, another one. Predict, imagine. So let's here. Okay, kind of. Trying to find similar words, okay, guys, to help you. Yes, most of the words here are easy to understand, but in case you are reading a difficult text, it's easy to do this kind of exercise. When you find words that are similar, right, you kind of make some guesses, okay, guys? So nothing like, I mean, nothing so hard. This one here is okay. No big deal. All right, people. All right. So let's move on to the next part, which is, whoa, 4:46 already. Oh, what a pity. Oh, I wish I could really do number 5 with you guys. So let's just conclude this part here. Let's just do number 5 quickly. Do you think the predictions here in this article are positive or negative? Let's just talk about it very quickly. What do you think? Are they positive or negative?
One of them are negative.
Only one. Yeah.
Only
Only the
one, only one.
yeah.
The
Only
first one,
yeah. That's true, Willem. Only the first one is negative because all the others are positive, right? Yes, that's it. Okay, guys. Next class, we will get into this thing here about going to and will. Okay? Which is also very easy. Don't worry. This is page 101. Okay? So yeah, only one part missing. We did half of it. But next class we do the second half. All right, I promise, guys. But if you want, you can do the online practice about it, right? Which is online practice 9.1. Don't worry, okay? I don't know if I posted any worksheets. No, I haven't. So you can ignore this. There are no worksheets for you there. Just the online practices about the units, right? 8.5 and 9.1. So at least we did the pages we were supposed to, except for this one that we only did half of it. Okay, guys. But all right, it was nice having you around. Really good to see everybody here, or at least almost everybody. Thank you so much for coming, Willem, and thank you for hanging around, Giovanni. I know how hard it is for you because of your connection. So thank you. Let me take one last picture. Let me take you that, I know it's difficult for you guys. Let me take you one last picture here, just a gallery one. All right. There you go, guys. Thank you so much. My connection is also bad today. You can see from my image. It sucks. Guys, have a nice weekend. See you on Monday. Yeah. Take care, guys. I love you. And don't
bye bye,
forget,
teacher.
people, send me the pictures, okay, of the pages that you missed. Don't forget, okay? Bye bye. Take care.
Bye. See you next
Bye.
week. Bye,
See you.
guys.
Bye bye.